After 3.5 years of hard work, it's finally happened, and I'm beyond excited to share this news with you today. What's just happened has massive implications for our health, and I can't wait to take you on the journey to how we got here and how you can help shape the next steps. But first, let's go back to where this all began. 3.5 years ago, I noticed a significant gap in the primary care research that was just too important to ignore. We all know that exercise is one of the best ways to stay strong and healthy as we age. It's like an insurance policy for our muscles, keeping them active and functional. But there's another player in this field, a molecule called rapamycin, which has shown incredible promise in animal studies. In these models, rapamycin extends both male and female lifespan by over 20%. So I started thinking, what if we could combine these two strategies? If we could get the dose of rapamycin right, could we use it alongside exercise to improve muscle performance more than just exercise alone? Now here is where the plot thickens. When we exercise, we're essentially giving our bodies a signal to grow stronger. That signal activates an enzyme called mTOR, which is like a construction foreman for our muscles. It coordinates the building of new proteins and muscle tissue. But rapamycin, it does the opposite. It blocks mTOR activity. So you might be wondering, how could something that blocks muscle growth actually help us improve muscle strength? Well, as we get older, our muscles seem to realize that they're losing strength, and they overcompensate by activating mTOR more than usual. The trouble is, this overactivation of mTOR in older muscles, it doesn't seem to build new proteins. Instead, it's like our muscles are hoarding old, damaged parts and aren't clearing them out. Think of it as a cluttered garage. You can't make room for new stuff if you don't get rid of the old junk first. This is where autophagy comes in. It's a process that clears out old, damaged components. It's like spring cleaning for our muscles. And that's where rapamycin might come to the rescue. If we use rapamycin once a week, we could potentially switch mTOR off temporarily, giving our muscles a chance to clear out these old damaged proteins. Then, on the days where rapamycin isn't taken, mTOR can kick back in and start building new, healthier muscle tissue. So if we can restore this balance between mTOR activation to build new proteins and blocking mTOR to allow autophagy to happen, we might be able to help older adults hold on to their muscle strength as they age. That's a powerful idea. Imagine being able to extend the time you could do the things you love, gardening, playing with your grandkids, or just enjoying a walk in the park without having to worry if your strength is holding you back. It's not just about avoiding rest homes, it's about living fully longer. But here's where the problems began. The idea itself is simple enough to explain, and the trial design and justification to the ethics committee was a walk in the park. But funding the trial, that's a different story altogether. Clinical trials, when done properly, are incredibly expensive. You need a data monitoring committee, nurses and doctors to run the study, third-party auditors to ensure everything is above board, blood tests, muscle performance measurements, and the list goes on. And here's the kicker. For investors, there's no financial return on this investment. Rapamycin is a molecule that was discovered way back in the 1960s, and you can't patent it. That means there's no exclusive rights, there's no blockbuster drug sales to look forward to. So after 18 months of fundraising and only getting about a quarter of the required amount, it was clear I needed to try something different. Around that time, the Cosmos studies were published, showing that a well-designed multivitamin and mineral supplement could have brain benefits. Now, I've always been meticulous about my own supplementation, taking specific forms of vitamins and minerals individually, but with this new research, it made sense to combine everything together into a single supplement, and that's how Microvitamin was born. It allowed me to achieve 3 key goals. The first is that it made it easier for me to take the supplements I was already taking. The second is that I could expand the range of molecules I was taking to align with the Cosmos studies, and the third is that I could fundraise for the rapamycin trial. And you know what? It worked. Because some larger donors could see a clear path to the study reaching its funding targets, the donations started to roll in, and we finally got the study fully funded. So we had the funding, ethics approval, and the study site was all set up. Everything was in place, and now we've just crossed the next major milestone. The first participant has passed the screening process and is successfully enrolled in the study. They'll be exercising on an at-home exercycle bike that we provide. The plan is simple. They'll exercise on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and take either the placebo or rapamycin on Saturday. The study is primarily a safety study. It's how the clinical trial process works. We first need to show that combining rapamycin and exercise in this way is safe, and once we've established safety, Then we can move on to a second, larger study to determine whether there's a true benefit to combining rapamycin and exercise compared to just exercise alone. And here is where you can be a part of this journey. If you're aged between 65 and 85, you live in Auckland, New Zealand, and you don't already exercise much, please consider enrolling in this trial. The link is in the pinned comment below, and I want to thank you for all of your support. Together we're making a difference. Let's keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.